The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports! We are St. Louis!
Hot Stove Live is presented by your locally owned independent tire dealer, someone you can trust.
Are we ready to go? A little louder. Are we ready to go? This is the official kickoff to the 2015 baseball season. And it couldn't happen soon enough. My name is Dan McLaughlin of Fox Sports Midwest, and the key word tonight is live. We are live right now on KMOX going throughout the country. We are live on Fox Sports Midwest going throughout the country. So let's make sure fans across the country know why we are the best in baseball. Make some noise. We're going to have some fun here tonight, and let's show you at home and also listening on the radio what's coming up. A state of the Cardinals with Bill DeWitt and Bill DeWitt III. A chat with the manager of your St. Louis Cardinals, Mike Matheny. Who could forget what Colton Wong did last year in the postseason? He'll be with us. We need to be loud when we introduce Jason Hayward to Cardinal Nation. And we're also going to take some questions from you, the fans out there here at Ballpark Village inside Fox Sports Midwest Live. Back in the mid-90s, Bill DeWitt and the ownership group took over, and since that time, you folks have enjoyed 12 years of postseason baseball. How good is that? Right now, we are in the best run ever of Cardinals baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of the St. Louis Cardinals, Bill DeWitt. Now, we want to have a little fun on this show, and maybe you never know, we break some news, and I'm sure Bill's excited to announce that Max Scherzer and Cole Hamels and James Shields are all coming to St. Louis, right?
No question, yeah. We beef up that rotation.
Absolutely. Let's start with these fans. Last year, 3.5 million. They come out night after night. Did you envision when you and your group took over that you would have the kind of success through the turnstiles with all the fans that come through?
Well, we knew we had a terrific fan base here. Everybody in baseball talks about it. And, you know, our goal was to put the best product we could on the field, and we knew the fans would respond and enable us to continue to do it year after year. So, you know, we rely on their support, and they've been great.
Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. Take a look at this graphically for those of you at home, what the fans have meant and what has happened under Bill DeWitt and the ownership group. It is an amazing, amazing run. Over 1,600 wins. You see the division titles, 12 postseason appearances, the 2 World Series championship teams. But as you know, Bill, it's about what have you done for me lately? So how about 2015? How do you like this team and getting into potentially postseason play?
I like this team a lot. I think John Mozeliak and his team did a great job over the winter. Obviously, we had to deal with the tragedy of Oscar early on, which took its toll on the organization. But, you know, we, to their credit, went out and got a really fine player, great player, Jason Hayward, who's going to be here tonight. And a big part of that deal as well was Jordan Walden, who has been an effective closer and a terrific setup man. So, you know, he will strengthen our bullpen and enable Carlos Martinez to get a shot at that starting rotation.
He's so much fun to watch. You know, we were talking about the great numbers that have transpired and taken place, the moments since the mid-'90s. I'm curious, from your perspective, being the owner of this team, what are you most proud of when you look at this franchise now, and it's so healthy financially and obviously winning baseball too?
Well, I feel good about our ability to continually compete. You really never know how far you're going to go, and you can do a good job and not have success, but we've been fortunate that, you know, the players we've gotten on this team are year after year have been a great group. We had our Red Ribbon Committee meeting today to nominate those who will be elected by the fans for the Cardinals Hall of Fame this year. And, you know, just hearing Tony and Whitey and Red talk about what it means to be a Cardinal, you know, it says something about the history of the franchise and the culture that's been built up here over so many years. And our goal was to keep it going, enhance it, and we want to continue to do that year after year.
Yes. I'll ask you, how would you define it? What does it mean to be a Cardinal?
Well, I think what it means to be a Cardinal is to respect the game, to play it hard, do your best, achieve to the level of your ability, and recognize the obligation that you have to perform for the fans who are so good in this city and in this community.
Part of that, too, is spending money, and you have not been afraid to spend money and bring in free agents or keep the guys that you have developed over the years. Right now, and this is a kind of a state of the union of the Cardinals, payroll-wise, if you wanted to go out and add players right now as we speak in the middle of January, could you do that?
We could. You know, we always say, and it's true, there are unlimited opportunities to spend money in this business. And you need to pick your spots when you're going to do it, because if you do it at the wrong time or in the wrong way or overspend in one area that you think, oh gosh, I have this need, but you overreach, you're going to regret it down the road. And I think we've been pretty disciplined over time, which has enabled us to do the things necessary to compete. So if you're not disciplined, you can find yourself a little behind the eight ball, and we don't want to be in that position. As
I look out to the crowd, and it's packed here tonight at Ballpark Village, you see generations of fans. And it's what makes this place so special, as you know. And one of the things that stands out for me is you having a chance to work with your son, and obviously your father had such a rich tradition in the game of baseball. What is that like, being able to work hand in hand with Bill? Well, it's great. You know, I was fortunate to grow up in a baseball family. My father was a career baseball man. He never had any other job or any other investment, really. I mean, baseball was his life. So as a young kid, I grew up in it and was able to work for him for a number of years over at Cincinnati Reds when he moved over there. So I think I was lucky to have that experience. And when we bought the club and Bill was getting out of school and had some early jobs elsewhere, to get him in the organization was a real treat. And we have a great working relationship. Of course, you know, a strong personal relationship. Absolutely. How much do you fans enjoy Ballpark Village? This is like the crown jewel of St. Louis when you think about the ballpark, and then right across the street you have Ballpark Village. And let's bring out the man behind that, the architect behind that, the Cardinals president. Give him a huge round of applause, Bill DeWitt III.
Hey, Dan.
Good to have you here. And as you look out, and this time last year, I remember you and I were going around in hard hats this time last year, walking around Ballpark Village. But here we have an event like this tonight. You know, what is it like for you to see this all come to fruition?
It's really fun. I had a flashback just walking over here tonight, because this time last year it was hard hats and boots and cold, and now it's a beautiful warm facility with all of us enjoying hot stove talk. And I think you know, that's what we envisioned. It's obviously great for these public forums and events, but it doubles also as a great restaurant venue, a studio, and of course our Hall of Fame museum, views into the ballpark. So all those things are it's been something that we've dreamed about for a long time, and to see it come to fruition, to see people enjoy the space, it gives me a lot of gratification.
Tell us a little bit about the Hall of Fame, what's in there now and what's planned coming up in 2015.
Well, the Hall of Fame is about 10,000 square feet, which is huge for a team museum. And it's a Hall of Fame and a museum. Of course, we just, you heard about the process for electing new members of the Hall of Fame a little earlier, but the museum itself has an incredible display of Cardinals memorabilia. We've collected now for 20 years. At my father's guidance, we've been out in the auction markets getting things that we didn't have in our collection, or prodding players to give us stuff when big moments happen. And so it's a great collection. And we also have a temporary exhibit. Right now there's an exhibit on Stan Musial, which will be around for about another year, and then we'll rotate it and keep it fresh.
For fans coming to the ballpark next year, any changes just looking at it aesthetically with the ballpark and what's happening across the street?
Yeah, we're working on a number of projects. Actually, we have a big capital budget this year. We're going to expand the Champions Club and make that a little bit bigger, which will change, sort of the look and feel of that. We've got a bunch of things that you don't see much. We repainted we're in the process of repainting all that structural steel. It's a little bit of a messy project, but it's keeping things fresh. We've put a bunch of windows in some places and closed them to give the fans a little more comfort, and there's some spaces in the ballpark. And then a bunch of other little things, whether it's flooring upgrades or seating upgrades, fixing broken stuff. 10 years on now, 9 years in the ballpark, and you start to think about the things you have to do to keep it up to date.
I asked your dad about this before you came on. Now I'll ask you. What's it like working with your dad?
It's really fun. I mean, to have baseball connects people, right? And any sport really. And for us to be able to talk baseball as a conversation starter every time we talk, and then to have it morph into things that relate to the business that we're both working on, it's just a great way to relate to your dad. And we try to bring in our siblings. I have 3 brothers and sisters, and get them involved too. And my mom, who's out here. It's a family conversation, and I just feel very fortunate to have that as something that dictates how we relate to one another on a daily basis.
And finally, a high percentage of our fans, even those that are here tonight, are in for the caravans and the winter warm-up and whatnot, and they come through in the weekends. And you have done a remarkable job in terms of marketing and trying to make it fun, not just to see the game, but also to have some of the other programs around the ballpark and some of those special weekends. For fans that don't know, in 2015, marketing-wise, what are some of the things that you're working on for the fans?
Well, there are a lot of, once again, we have an incredible giveaway list, and we released that recently, but, we were continuing our announcers program with a little thing of Harry Carey as a Cardinal. That's one of my favorites. It'll have a little chip with one of his famous calls as a Cardinal. A lot of people forget that he kind of finished as a Cub, but he had a long career as a Cardinal. Kind of reminds me of Bruce Sutter. I still think of him as a Cardinal, although he had a little Cub action. But and then just our whole philosophy is to do giveaway items that really are of the highest quality, and we even supplement our marketing budget to make sure that those things are of the highest quality. And we also have theme nights where we do a little micro marketing to where you can come if you're a fan of Chuck Berry. We do a Chuck Berry bobblehead or things like that, special to St. Louis. So we really try to make it something that drives interest, and people, when they come and they wait in line and they get that bobblehead, it was worth the wait.
Believe me, folks, these guys care about you, and they appreciate what you do for Cardinal Nation. Give them a round of applause, please. The Duets, we're going to ask them to stay up here for just a moment. We'll take a quick time out, and when we come back, we'll visit with the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. Mike Matheny will join us. Cardinals Hot Stove Live on Fox Sports Midwest and KMOX.
Cardinals Hot Stove Live is brought to you by Chevrolet. Get great offers on 2015 Chevy models. Find new roads at your Mid-America Chevrolet dealer.
Ladies and gentlemen, look up there. Colton Wong and Jason Hayward in our green room. Back inside Fox Sports Midwest Live in Ballpark Village. This is Cardinals Hot Stove Live. Ladies and gentlemen, he has led your team to the National League Championship Series in his first 3 years. Your manager, Mike Matheny. Ladies, relax, please. And some of you guys out there as well. Now, Mike, we just saw Jason Hayward back there. You've got Colton Wong coming back. You've got a good team coming back. How do you feel about the 2015 Cardinals?
Well, I don't know if we could be any more excited, Dan. And a year ago, I think a lot of people were looking towards the Cardinals and making a strong run, and we didn't disappoint. And I think this year we've made some great moves to reinforce what we already have. And you bring in some quality people that have the talent to do some big things. And I think we saw some young guys take it to another level. You mentioned Colton. We saw Matt Adams, and we just know that these young guys are on the brink of some great things. And to bring in a veteran presence like Jason is just going to add to that.
You don't do that, though, without ownership buying in. And Bill DeWitt and his group, they buy in. So you know every year you come to spring training, you've got a pretty good chance to win.
Yeah, and that expectation's been here for a long time, and we realize that that expectation's a compliment to what the guys have been able to do, a compliment to this organization and what Bill and the ownership group have been able to put together. And that's just a high level of expectation. And some people look at that as pressure. We look at it as a great opportunity to prove people right. And this isn't the same all across the board. There are plenty of organizations that are so hand-tied, and you realize that it's just a matter of surviving. But this is a different place. It's a place that it starts at the top, and they set the tone for what's expected, and it filters all the way down into our clubhouse.
Bill, you had one of the great managers ever in Tony La Russa. You took a chance on Mike Matheny. That chance has paid off handsomely. Why did you know that Mike was the right guy at that time?
Well, of course, Mike had been with the Cardinal organization, so we had a lot of background with Mike. But we did a pretty thorough interview process with a number of good candidates. And after we met with Mike and heard about how he would manage a club, we all looked at each other and said, we've got our man.
Well, under Mike Matheny, take a look at these numbers, folks, of just how good Mike Matheny has been and what the Cardinals have done under his leadership. Look at that. Second in the National League overall record, the NL Central titles, the League Championship Series appearances, the one World Series appearance. And I was saying this, Mike, to Bill. I said, it's what have you done for me lately, though? So can you get over the hump and win that World Series title?
Yeah, there was one column missing there. But I've been fortunate. I spent a little time with Whitey Herzog last night, and I remember, and also with Red Shandies, and they've given great advice. They said, one of the greatest keys to managing is having good players. And it's pretty simple. And fortunately, you see some pretty impressive numbers of what our teams have been able to do, because we've been incredibly blessed with great talent and in an atmosphere where guys can thrive. So we have one more thing to accomplish on that.